Okay. I'm still trying to figure this all out, but I'm trying to do my first stream with YouTube using different software. So let's see how this works. I guess it would help if I was logged into Facebook. I mean, YouTube, wouldn't it? Hey, everybody. I got some stuff working. I'm doing big things. You guys hear me okay? Everything working? You can see me and you can hear me. Yeah, I'm getting this technology down. Okay, good. I can't see myself. I screwed something up, but that's okay. I don't need to see me. You need to see me. Well, what we're doing tonight is Topic Thursday. And what I planned to do was discuss, where's my notes? Oh, that's right. Hold on. Okay, what I had planned to do was talk about women's fears. That's what I'm going to discuss today. Okay, why can't this work? As soon as okay, I'm having a bit of a drama. Okay, I guess if I'll do it like this. Okay, because I want to be able to see the chat as well as read my notes. So I was kind of running into a little bit of a complex issue. Okay, good. Well, I was thinking about something the other day, and it came to me that women operate out of fear. Most of the decisions that you make when it comes to your relationships are based on fear. And I remember when I was growing up, my dad used to tell me there are two kinds of people in this world. There are people who are motivated by fear, and there are people who are motivated by pleasure. And the people who seek pleasure don't worry too much about the risk and the possible downsides of stuff. They leave that for the fearful people because they always gonna worry about that. I'm glad you guys like myself. I was working hard to get this done. This is what I've been trying to do for the last couple of weeks, but I couldn't do it until I got my computer upgraded. And now it's like, everything's rolling into magic. It's like, oh my God, look. Oh. Well, people are going to be taking notes, I think, as they listen to this. And I chose the San Francisco background as an aside because that's my hometown. And I used an old picture because I wanted to have San Francisco looking like the way that it looked when I used to live there versus the way it looks like now, like New York City West. I can't stand it. Every time I go across the Bay Bridge and see it, I just want to vomit. It's just San Francisco has lost all its charm. The little quaintness that it used to have, it just gone. It just looks like any other big city. So I picked, a picture taken in the 1990s, way before all this stuff happened. And this is what I remember, and that's what I want to project on my show. So let me get started with this. I think a lot of the things that, like I said, that women do are based on fear. Now, some of those things are perfectly logical and reasonable fears, and I wanted to go over some of those. Um, Getting drunk in mixed company, because we have this fear that even somebody who we consider a friend that's a male will turn on us. And that's a very real concern because men tend to do things in groups that they wouldn't do if they were by themselves. They get caught up in um, that wolf pack mentality, and they'll do things and say things and co-sign on things and not stand up for people that they would normally stand up for. It's really kind of messed up. But so that's a very real concern. One of the things that women also won't do is leave our drinks. We don't leave our drinks on the bar. You don't leave your drinks, unattended while you go to the restroom or while you go dance or while you go visit somebody at another table or something. You know what I mean? Either take it with you or you leave it, or you drink it all and just leave the empty glass. But no woman I know is stupid enough to leave a drink just sitting there and then come back with it, come back to it while it's just been sitting there unattended. That would be so dumb. Oh my God. Yeah, people be throwing all kind of drugs into your drinks just for the entertainment value of seeing you all fucked up, even though they have no intention of trying to take you home or anything like that. There's just a lot of crazy people out here. I mean, weirdos. Yeah, you're right. They could give you something that you end up dead because some people have allergies to different things or other sensitivities, bad hearts, medication that they already take that could be reacting negatively to whatever they put in your drink. So there's all kind of risks there. So if you ever have a drink and you have to leave it for any reason, just consider that drink gone. It's dead. You don't pick it up, don't even touch it. Another thing that is a credible fear is moving into or even visiting certain areas of major metropolitan cities, probably even small towns, because the harassment rate is too high. It's just too much nig and you know what I'm talking about. It's just too much. So you stay away from those areas. I mean, I've had relatives that used to live in that live in areas like that. And I might go visit them, I don't know, from 11 to 1, and then I'm out. It's like, I'm not going to be trying to be here going to my car at dusk or any time after that because that's when the nignogs wake up. They've been clowning and all night and they sleep all day. As soon as the sun goes down, the motherfuckers like a vampire come rising up. No, no, no. I'm good. Oh, in Baltimore? Oh, honey, that lack of sense, that's a worldwide disease. And it's just like, yeah, they do. Ooh, honey, they are like vampires. They just suck all the life out of you. Okay, another thing that you see the yellow eye. I'm not talking to you anymore, Faith. I don't know you. Okay, we have a fear of it, exercising at night, like going for a walk, going jogging. You want to get your, jog on and stuff, but you already know what the risk is. So nobody's doing that. If you going out with a group of like 80 women. So it's like, somebody acts stupid, you go, boom, boom, boom. But no, you're not going by yourself. Not even with two people. That's not enough. It had to be four, five, then maybe. A lot of women, of course, have a very valid concern that they're leaving their children in a certain environment or around certain people is not a safe thing to do. And, sometimes women are desperate. I mean, they got to go to work and they don't have anybody to watch the kid. And so they leave the kid in a risky situation and hope for the best. But and that's still a fear that she has. I'm not saying whether she tries to get over the fear or not, or whether the fear actually materializes. I'm just saying that that's what fear that women have that I think is very valid. Another valid fear that we have is that we don't want to wear something that's too sexy unless we're with our man or our family or what, like a group, then where we got some backup. Because, nignogs and stupid ass white boys will take that as an invitation to, harass you, to put their hands on you, to say, do and say all kind of inappropriate things. It's just crazy. Another thing that we don't like to do is wear high heels as we travel the streets. You know, you see women all up and down the streets of San Francisco, walking in walking shoes and athletic shoes and stuff like that, with their good shoes, their high heels and stuff in a tote bag, or they already have them at their desk at work. Nobody does that because in case you need to make some moves, you know, you got to run away or duck and dodge or something like that. You want to be able to do it, you know. Oh man, I'm just reading. It's about the 6 years old. Yeah, well, see, that's what they do. You know, these boyfriends are the highest risk of murdering children. Stepfathers are number two. So I don't, you know, these women be trusting these men. I don't trust no man around a kid. I just don't. Another thing we're afraid to do is make eye contact with strange men. You in the South. I finally ran into people that you walking down the street and a man might say good day, ma'am, or hello, ma'am, or good morning, good evening, something like that, and they do that little head nod thing. Being raised up in San Francisco, I'd never seen no shit like that. It's like nobody really talked to each other. We just do what we going, where we going, and we go back, and nobody would really talk to you. But down there it was a little bit different. Okay, so go down there. I'm down there 5 and some years. I come back to California and I picked up that habit. Well, honey, I had to drop that shit pronto because nignogs will take any kind of politeness like that southern gentility, as an invitation. So if they say, "Hey, good morning," with that tone, they just can't say, "Oh, good morning, young lady," something like that. Now, "Hey, what you doing, ma?" And so, you already know what time it is. You don't really want to be bothered. And it's just unfortunate that it has to come to that. So you don't want to make eye contact with them. You don't want to smile. You don't want to show your teeth. You just give them a tense look, or if you even look at them at all, because you just hope they just dry up and blow away like the dirt they are. You are afraid of getting into a train, like, a BART train or uh, a subway car or something like that. If you go in that door and there's nothing in there but men, most women will step the fuck right back off the train. They're not going to get in there. Now here on BART we have what do you call them? Undercover police. BART has its own police force, and they are no joke. So, but you don't know if one of them is in the car or not. So you're not going to take that chance. And not to say that another woman would help you either, but it's just it's like the code of womanhood. If we're going to be the only one unless you got packing or some, stuff like that. You're not going to be putting yourself in a risky situation. We won't we have a concern about being alone in our apartments when there are repairmen coming. They want the cable dude, the TV dude, the PG&E dude, the landlord. I mean, you just don't know. These dudes are weird and creepy. I told you about that dude. I had this Chinese landlord that I could tell was coming in my apartment when I wasn't at home, because I'm very, particular about where I leave my stuff. And my stuff was in different places. And my daughter was a baby, so I already knew it wasn't her. And plus, she was gone while I was gone. So you come in the house and shit's different, just a little bit off. You know what I mean? So then one night, and it was, my husband traveled a lot for work. So he would be gone for weeks at a time. And so then, he'd come back when he'd be home for weeks, and then he'd be gone again on another contract. And this guy knew that, right? So he's like, oh, he's knocking on the door one night. It was like 11 o'clock at night. And he's like, oh, you wanted something repaired or something. I'm like, well, yeah, but not right now. And he was trying to get into my apartment because he knew my husband wasn't there. He's trying to get in, at 11 o'clock at night when it's just me and this little baby at the house. I was like, oh no. And then when I put two and two together, he's coming to my apartment, and now he's trying to come to my apartment at night when I'm there by myself. The next morning, I went downstairs and I knocked on that door. Honey, his wife was no joke. I said, you know, your husband came up to my apartment last night at 11 o'clock at night trying to come in. And she said, what? What was he trying to come for? I said, he said something about some repair. And I also think he's been coming to my apartment when I'm not at home because things have been arranged differently. And you know, I spend a lot of time there by myself because my husband travels for work. You know, I'm not really comfortable with what's going on here. You need to speak to him. Honey, let me tell you, she probably still cussing his ass out. And you know how many years ago that was? Your sister girl went the fuck off in Chinese. I don't know what she was saying, but she was saying a lot of it and it was loud. So, you know, he never did that shit again. And not too long after that, we moved. So, you know, once I told my husband about it, he was like, oh, hell no. So, you know, he started looking for us a place to move. Yeah, it was weird. It was so bizarre. He couldn't get in because I had the chain on the door. Otherwise, he probably would have come in, you know, just come in the house. Mm-mm. Another thing women are concerned on, which is in the valid fear category, is using an ATM. You know, we don't like to use an isolated ATM. You know, you be looking around, it's too dark, it's nobody around, it's weird dudes sitting in the parking lot in a car. Oh, hell no. Drive off. Go use one in a grocery store or something like that, where it's a whole bunch of people and a security guard and all this kind of stuff. Another thing women are concerned about is giving our name out, right? Our last name. We don't want people who are strangers or people we met online dating or something to be able to find where we work or where we live without, you know, us giving them that information. So, you know, so those are all things that I feel are valid concerns. So I wanted to get those things out of the way because I didn't want anybody saying, well, you know, some of the stuff we scared of, you know, is valid. I mean, we need to be scared of. Okay, I don't want to hear that. You know, the rest of this conversation is going to be about what I call irrational fears that women have about relationships. And all of it is concerning some dude. You know, something about pleasing a man, keeping a man, getting a man, making a man like you, being sure the man likes you, all this old stuff. And I'm like, when I started thinking about it, I got a headache. I'm like, you guys be doing way too much. Just be worrying about the wrong thing. You need to worry about yourself and stop worrying about these knucklehead nignogs. Oh my God. White boys, Chinese, whatever the fuck they are. They all nignogs to me. You know, they just have a different skin color or whatever. But um, this group knows how to act. That's right. They sure do. So the only time we have somebody who don't know how to act, you know it's a new person. All right, so let's talk about some of these fears y'all have that have been expressed to me in my advice column. And hold on a second. Let me make an adjustment here. How do I do this? Uh, in this sound. Hold on a second. Let's see. Audio. Okay, let me see what I'm doing here. Captures. Properties. Maybe it's in there. Nope. Here. Nope. Settings. I don't know. I'm trying to figure all this out. Audio. Nope. I don't know where it is. I'm trying to, I'm hearing myself and I don't want to hear myself. And, is it under filters? Nope. Bear with me, you guys. I gotta do something about this. I'm not feeling this at all. Oh, here we go. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. All right, let me go back over here. Can you guys still hear me? Can you still hear me? Somebody answer, please. Yes? Yes? Okay, let's go then. I made a slight adjustment. Okay, let's talk about these irrational fears. Okay, one of the number one things that y'all write and complain about and say is that you're afraid of, quote, losing him. You're afraid of running him off. Where does that come from? Do you not realize that he's got his own these, he's gonna go where he wanna go whenever he wanna go. There's nothing you can do to make him leave if he don't want to go. There's nothing you can do to keep him if he wants to go. So women have this very irrational fear, and I think that's the foundation for a lot of the moves that you make that just express insecurity, low self-esteem, desperation, all kind of stuff. And that just drives me nuts. I don't understand where that comes from. I'm just like, what? How do you lose something? It's not like he's a towel. You just you blow out the window or something. You don't lose a man. And this thing, this fear of running him off. I mean, this is the foundation of a lot of the things I'm getting ready to talk about. This one thing, that's why I put it first. Okay, so then follow that up with a fear of being alone, a fear of being alone forever, a fear of never meeting anyone. How many of people whine about that? Oh, I'm never gonna meet anybody. I'm just tired of being single. I'm always alone. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And when you have that kind of attitude, you will make very poor choices because that fear becomes your motivator. Instead of you having some kind of you're afraid to keep your standards too high because you feel like you're gonna just eliminate everybody, and so you got to hurry up and get somebody. So that means that you have to relax your standards and take whatever comes along, and so otherwise you're going to be stuck with this fear of, quote, being alone. I don't get that because you don't understand. You might get that meat and that right now, but in a few months you're gonna look at that monkey ass motherfucker and you're gonna be like, oh my god, what have I done? And it's too late. You're already married. You already commingled assets. You might even be pregnant. Then what? Why did you do that? I better be thinking. Can't do it. A lot of women have a super fear of imperfection. Imperfection. You be scared when stuff doesn't go right. You feel like you have to look perfect. You have to be perfect at work. You have to be perfect at church. You have to be perfect in your family. You want them to see you as this perfect person. You have to be perfect amongst your friends. You have to be perfect in your neighborhood. You got to be the perfect mama, the perfect girlfriend, the perfect wife, just the perfect sister. Just all this pressure you put on yourself to meet some imaginary standards of perfection. And it's to the point where a lot of women get depressed and feel sick because they or feel like they're falling short. You're very critical on yourself. You are so hard on yourself, and you set so many high standards that you're always stressed. You can't sleep, like your skin is fucked up, your hair won't grow, all kind of stuff, and you constantly stressed and worried about meeting these standards that you put on yourself. Please, I don't even know. I mean, what is that? Where does that come from? The flip side of that, and this is something that a lot of people teach their kids, these women like that. You teach your kids that they must be perfect, and you know what that does? That makes your children afraid of trying. They're afraid to try new things because they're afraid they're going to fail. And rather than face failure, which is a lack of perfection, right? They just rather not do anything. So they stay frozen. They never take any risks. They never try to have stretch goals, nothing. They play it safe. And these are the kids that we have in universities now that are always looking for the, quote, right answer because they want to be perfect. Instead of exploring in things intellectually, they want to give you the right answer because then they'll be perfect. It's a whole generation like that now. Oh my God. It's just like having a discussion with them is ridiculous because they just parrot the same thing that you could read in any book. They don't have an original thought in their head. Speaking of, well, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Another thing that you guys do when you know, all of these things are things I thought of that I thought that women do, and a lot of times you don't even think about what you're doing, but it's all about getting, keeping, maintaining a relationship with, getting attention of, maintaining attention of, not running off, whatever, pleasing, all that stuff, some man. Your lives are based on fear about getting, keeping, acquiring, associating with whatever, a man. And it's just about all y'all. So don't be thinking you're going to escape. Because, honey, my list is 36 points long. Everybody is in here somewhere. Okay. And I'm not, trying to drag you or nothing. What I'm doing is pointing out to you your erroneous thinking. That's what I do here. I don't ever tell you what to think. Except women that, about some kids or something. I'll tell their asses what to think. But y'all grown. All I do, I'm going to point out some things that may be hindering your progress, that may be limiting your thinking. I want you to expand your horizons. I want you to expand your life experiences. I want you to be willing to take calculated risks. I'm a gambler, and that's what we do. You want to bet the odds that's going to bring you the most reward for the least risk. And a lot of you don't even want to take any risk. You just want to play it safe. So you stay with the same dried up, crunchy ass, stupid ass man rather than branch out, leave him behind and branch out and go get somebody new. You don't want to do that. And that drives me crazy. So let's go back to this list. Okay. Where did I leave off? Oh, number 4. You are afraid to make a decision. You're afraid to speak with decisive words and a tone of voice that is commanding and firm and assertive. Y'all don't do that. You don't do that. This is what you do. Well, maybe. I'm not really sure. Well, whatever you want. Well, I don't care. Well, I like everything. Oh, I don't really know. You done that. All y'all have done that because you're scared that if you say something too firm, that the dude is gonna be like, well, damn. She kind of hardcore. I don't know. You're afraid that's what he's going to say, but I'm going to tell you this. If you live your life trying to please other people and not like being who and what you are, do you know how miserable you're going to be at the end of your life? Will you even recognize yourself? Will you even have a self? Because you would have bent like self and like a pretzel based on everybody else's desires and opinions about who and what you are. You're going to be trying to please all those motherfuckers and you're not going to be pleasing yourself. Oh, hell no. We can't do that. We can't do that. All right. I just, speak, put some bass in your voice when you talk to people. Even when you all be talking to your kids, you be talking to that little pleading, whining ass voice. Oh, come on, Johnny. Please, mommy has to go to work. Come on, come on. Can you? Oh, how about if I buy you a toy later? I've seen parents do this shit. I'll get you some chips. I'll get you some candy. They want to try to negotiate. This is me. Get your fucking ass in that goddamn car before I tear you a new ass. Don't play with me. Get in the car now. And then they get in the car. Usually, by the time you do that one time, you give them that look with your eyebrows raised like, what? What you doing? I know you moving towards the car, right? And you say something like that, little nigga's legs be going like Chucky, headed right to the car. So it's like, no, we ain't playing that. You're not making me late. I would drive the fuck off and leave your little monkey ass standing on the side of the curb. One of my friends did that to her son. See, that's why I have friends like me. He want to act a fool. She's like, okay, get out. She get in the car, drive off with her daughter, and this little nigga chasing the car down the street. Mama! Mama! But next time she said get in the car, he got in the car. You see what I mean? You can't talk about it. You got to be about it. And with men, it's the same thing. Y'all be talking all this big game, but then you don't do anything. And then some of you don't even talk the big game. You say, okay, yes, right, oh, all right. Knowing that inside you're seething and you don't want to do that, why can't you just tell him, hell no, I don't want to do that shit? What's wrong with you? Why you always think everything's supposed to go your way? What about me? You don't want to say that because you're scared. You're afraid of telling him what you want. A lot of times it's because you're afraid that he won't give it to you. It's not because you're afraid to ask, but a lot of you are afraid to ask. So you got to pretend like you don't know what you want, and or you settle for what he's going to give you. And this also applies to things like commitment. You want something solid. You want a title. You want, to know where this is going. You've been kicking it with dude for 6, 7 months, and it's, still, excuse me. Uh-oh. I got a new water bottle and I think it has a hole in it. You just want to have everything be loose and easy, and so you don't put their foot down. You don't tell him, dude, this is not working for me. I need to know, I need to have some firmness. I need to have some parameters around our relationship so that I feel like, we're on the same page. And with the way things are right now, it doesn't feel like that. So, either you get to my page or this book is going in the trash can. Y'all don't want to do that. But, but I really like him though. Um, but whatever I do, because if I break up with him, then I'll be alone. I'm tired of it. See, back to fear number one. A lot of you have this horrible fear of gaining weight. I cannot tell you, when I worked as a personal trainer, these women would have like a little microscopic like piece of fat like my fingernail, and you would thought their world had, the sky was falling like Chicken Little. Oh my God, ooh, I got some fat on me. I'm like, shoot, sisters is like, okay, I got some fat on me. What's the problem? So a lot of women do. I noticed that, from the white women that I worked with more so than black women. But, some of us are in that too. They have a fear of gaining weight, especially for those who struggle, with their weight and lost it. They are like almost paranoid to eat anything that has high calories in it. It makes it really difficult to be around them because they're always so just so worried about what they're eating, and then it's not so much they worried about themselves too. They want to worry about what you eat too and start trying to police what you eat. I'm like, look, you the one worried about looking like a goddamn toothpick. Don't say nothing about my food. This is me. You ain't me. So I'm not telling you to eat more than a carrot stick. I don't want you telling me what to eat either. So, you just got to put them in check. Number 7, a lot of you deal with a dude who's like separated or who's a different race. And one of the biggest fears that a lot of women have, and they've expressed, is a fear that he's going to go back to his wife or his ex-girlfriend or the baby mama, or, he's going to go back to some woman of his race because maybe she was just an experiment or something. That's a lot of fears. You see, look on my wall under that interracial video that I talked about dating with white men. You can see all the sisters on there. They're so concerned about being a fetish and being an experiment and all this old stuff here. And I'm like, okay, but I mean, he has the same worry. You know what I mean? You can flip that, everything that you could say you're worried about, he can have the same concerns. So either you're going to be courageous enough to try this and give people a chance, eliminating the skin color issue, just, woman to man, or you're going to worry about somebody being the same color and what they might, maybe, possibly, coulda, woulda, and then you're going to, box yourself in to your comfort zone and only deal with nignogs. I mean, that's what was happening on that wall. You can look at it. I don't need to explain this. The one called "Why White Men Are Afraid to Approach" or something like that. And you can read all the, the comments down there. It was crazy. All right. How about fear of getting too many muscles from working out? I ran into that a lot. oh, they only want to do cardio, right? Women, okay, you can have a high body fat percentage and still not be overweight. But it's like when you touch these chicks, they were like a fucking marshmallow. Not even marshmallow, marshmallow cream. That your just finger just go in and in and in. There was no, you know, nothing firm about their bodies at all. It was just gross. And I ran into a whole bunch of them like that. They had diet away all their muscle and cardioed away all their muscle with, walking, running, and all this stuff, and not eating enough calories and not doing any resistance training. So then they start, hit 30 and they start getting osteopenia, osteoporosis in their later years. It was just a hot mess. So a lot of women have this fear of working out with weights because they feel like they're going to start looking like a man. Nothing could be further from the truth, and I had to explain that to them. But that is also a fear that a lot of women have, and that keeps them in a box. Um, There's some scary chicks on this list. Honey, I done heard it all. Every single thing on this list are things that I've actually personally run into. And there's probably a lot more, but I just, worked on the list yesterday and today. And I didn't really work on it too much today because I was working on my, setting up my stream and stuff. And since I couldn't really go anywhere. And so I got that going. So that was good. All right. A lot of these dudes, I mean ladies, I'm sorry, have a fear of him getting bored. You know, you get bored with her. She's feeling that he's gonna get bored with her, or he's gonna get bored with the relationship and want to, ho hop around, or that he's gonna get bored with the sex. So here you go, right? You go to every buying every lingerie from Victoria's Secrets and reading, flipping through Cosmo, going through all the pages of all the tricks that you could do in the bed and all them things that men love, and you just taking notes and all this stuff. This shit is too much fucking work. I'm not doing none of that. None of it. Occasionally, I used to like to get, you get some Victoria's Secrets for a gift or something, but it's not like I'm doing it. I'm not going to be doing it with the intent that if I don't, this dude is gonna go get it somewhere else. That I have to spice things up. That it's my responsibility to keep it hot and keep it interesting. And that if I don't, he's gonna leave me. That's what y'all do. See, I like to dress up. My Vicky Secrets just for me. I'll be sleeping in bed by myself, saying, "Ooh, wee, you kind of cute." But it's like, this kind of thing where women do everything. You're motivated to do what you're doing out of fear. Okay. Another thing is y'all have a fear of saying no. Again, it's saying no to men. Why are you afraid to say no? Like I said, you should be conjugating that. Hell no, fuck no, what I look like, no, nigga, you crazy, no. All kind of no's should be in your vocabulary, and they should be flying out at a on a regular interval, because you can't let a man just do everything he wants to do. But that's what you do, a lot of you, because you're so afraid he's going to leave you, that the relationship is going to be, go up in smoke, and that you'll be alone. See, again, motivated out of fear. That's the terrible, terrible way to live your life. I don't know how you do it. It's like you're just constantly stressed out, worrying about what this man thinks, what this man wants, how to please him, and all this stuff, or you're sacrificing yourself to do it. A lot of you, now this is, thing for the African American women here, you have a fear of, uh, who's making names? Who's putting names up in here? Let me scroll up. Don't be putting people's names in my chat. Don't do that. It doesn't matter. Okay, thank you. Just let's talk about us, okay? We don't need to talk about other people. This conversation is about us, okay? Just let's, stick to that. I won't yell at you, but it's like, calling in other people in a conversation where it's about you and your personal growth, your choices, your behavior. You don't need to concentrate or even think about anybody else. Think about you, okay? This is all about you. So let's talk about the next one. You the fear of saying no. Okay, we talked about that. And the black women have this fear of being an ABW. That's the angry black woman. How many times you hear that shit online? You so angry. Y'all so angry. You're so bitter. And it's like we have to deal with you fools. Any woman with any sense would be angry. You know, I have a meme that says, to be a black woman in America and to be conscious is to be angry all the time. And that is the truth. Once you are awake and you recognize the fuckery that's going on in this world and the way that women and children are treated by men, you're going to be pissed the fuck off every goddamn day because men ain't shit. And when you tell them that, they want to say, well, you're not on men. Okay, but what you doing about the ones who are doing these things then? You ain't doing nothing. So that makes you a not shit nigga too, by association. That's how it is. You get charged with the crime as an accomplice because you ain't doing nothing to stop it. So there you go. Y'all guilty. The next thing is fear of being called frigid or stuck up or hard to get along with or too much work, all this kind of stuff once you're in a relationship. The dude's like, well, that's too much. You ask for too much. You need to relax. You need to let your freak out. You need to do this and that. So it's all these things that you need to do. And it's like, well, nigga, why don't you do something about that belly you got? And then maybe somebody might want to be freaky. Brush your teeth, trim up that beard, clean them grungy nails, do something with yourself. And then somebody might be motivated. But you come in here looking like Barney and then think somebody, is supposed to be all hot and bothered. There, no. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. I just got a $5 donation. She said, thank you for dragging these fools by the back of their necks. I don't know why that's so funny to me. Made me think about like a caveman. But this kind of thing, you guys, so you're gonna jump through hoops and go and get all these freaky oils and just be doing everything. You're stressing yourself out about a man. And it's like let him, if he wants something to be freaky, let his ass think about it. Why you got to do it? Why do they like to sit on their ass and be entertained by women and make you do all the work? They be looking like Barney. They be talking like him. No. How about the fear of getting older? And this is one that affects a lot of women because I admit there is ageism in this world when it comes to women. Youth and beauty is held at a higher has higher value than someone who's mature. However, you cannot worry about that. You do the best you can to, keep yourself nice and looking, but you're not you unless you kill yourself, you can't stop from aging. No, you only get two choices. Either you die young or you die old. If you die old, you're going to have gray hair, lines, and wrinkles. It comes with the territory. So, you know what I mean? There's only two choices here. I'm sorry. So if you want to live, you want to enjoy your grandchildren, you want to travel, you want to retire from your job and have years to do things the way you want to with some money that you done saved up and all this stuff, then you're going to be an older lady and you're going to have gray hair, you're going to have lines, you're going to have wrinkles, your boobs are going to sag, things are going to be different than they were when you were 25. I mean, that's just reality. But a lot of women have a real hard time accepting that. So here's some woman who's 70 years old, she dyeing her hair carrot top orange and blue and trying to look young and wearing spandex. Girlfriend, your spandex days have been over for 40 years. Take that off. Put on something nice and flowy that looks feminine and that covers up all them rolls that you got. Don't nobody want to see all that. That's not cute. I'm not saying that you can't be older. I'm saying dress for your age, dress for your body. And, ideally, you would be in the gym. Get you a trainer. Work out 2 or 3 people at a time. Group training is cheaper. but you still get the benefit of a personal trainer that can direct your moves and work you out harder than you would ever want to work out by yourself. But I had clients that are in their 60s and early 70s who had nice tight bodies. They didn't have, I mean, they had lines and stuff, of course, because they were older ladies, but their bodies were firm. They wasn't sagging and all this stuff. So, and they were nice and trim. So it's just a matter of, where there's a will, there's a way. You can age gracefully, but you are going to age. So don't fight it. Don't feel like, there's something wrong with you. Running to the getting boob jobs and stuff. Oh my God. I remember when I worked at Club One, we had this lady come into the gym. This woman had to be in her late 70s. And she had a boob job. Girl, why was her boobs way the fuck up here? I mean, lady, really? I mean, teenagers don't even have boobs that high. It was just a hot mess. And she was had the nerve to be walking around with, those kind of tops. What they call them? They're like a bra. There's a name for them. I don't know. I never wear that shit. But it's like, it just goes around here. And it was low cut. And then she'd have like a little sweat jacket or something on. So she was showing her new boobs that she bought. I was like, oh my God. Yes, yeah, it did look very natural. It was like everybody in the gym was looking at her like, what the fuck? But she, honey, she was thinking she was all of that. And I'm telling you, she was so wrinkly and everything. She would have done better to do something about her skin than to worry about that. But, that's just me. That was just my opinion. But just approach these things. Think about it. Take care of your skin. You ladies that's in your 20s and 30s, this is the time to start using sunblock. I meant to bring the skin moisturizer that I use. It's by a company called Murad, Murad. It has 30 SPF. I've been using it for years. And it's a great moisturizer. It's just enough protection from the sun for someone with, dark skin to avoid getting sunburn and stuff. And you see, like, I'm old as dirt and I don't have no wrinkles, not one. And that's just, because I started taking care of my skin when I was young. You got to drink a lot of water, you eat well, and you exercise. Make sure you get your rest. Make sure you drink your water. Okay? And eat your fresh vegetables, eat your fruit. You should have a couple of pieces of fruit every day. And I'm not talking about orange juice. I'm not talking about grapefruit and vodka. Okay, that don't count. But yeah, it would be nice if they sponsored me. Man, that would be great. But it's something that's the product I've been using for I don't even know how many years. I used to use Dermalogica, and that shit was too pricey. So now I switched over to Murad, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, something, long time. And, that's what I use. And like I said, I'm a firm believer. See, people say, well, black people don't need sun protection. That is not true. I had a sunburn when I was about 12 when I went to summer camp. All the skin on my here and here and here peeled off. It looked nasty as hell. And after that, I learned when I went to the doctor because it was like my face hurt. And my parents took me to the doctor and said, oh, she has a severe sunburn. And we were all stunned, like, what? Black people get sunburn? That's when I learned, and that's when I started taking better of my skin. I was only 12 years old. So, if you have any concerns about what you should eat, go to my blog. It's blacksgoingvegan.com. There are a lot of recipes there that I developed that you can eat, and they're like a good crossover between regular food and vegan food, but that even kids like. They're easy recipes and they're very tasty. I don't eat nasty food, so you can go there, try some stuff. Just try to work more vegetables and fruits into your diet. I'm not saying you got to be a vegan, but you go, oops, where's my phone? You want to increase that because it's very nutritious, and it also help with your blood pressure. So, as black people, that's something we need to be concerned about, diabetes and whatnot. So you'll never go wrong by taking care of your skin and eating well and stuff like that. So don't fear aging, you guys. Just, slide into it gracefully and you'll be fine. How about fear of being dependent? We had some letters come in a few weeks ago where a young lady was afraid of depending on her husband. She was terrified. She needed to, she was battling with the message that she always got when she was young of being independent and this, strong black woman thing. and you can't do that. I know it's hard because she was right. That is the message that we get, that you can't depend on men, and for the most part that is true. But she had a situation where she could. The guy wanted her to depend on. He was there for her. She admitted every time she needed him, he was Johnny on the spot, never let her down. But she was still struggling with it. So for those of you who find that that's a problem and it's impacting your relationship, and you have a man who is about something, you have a guy who's got your back, who's always there for you, standing up for you and stuff, you gotta relax those reins. Just, I mean, ease into it if you need to. Let's try to trust him with small stuff, but you have to develop a relationship where you let him do things for you. You let him take care of you. That's ego food for men. You know what I mean? And if he's capable of doing it and he wants to do it, why are you stopping him? And we all got those messages. And yeah, she was married, but it was causing problems because she was so, okay, let me try this again. I don't know about this thing. All right. Some women have a super fear of not being liked. Oh my God. Why do I hear that all the time? Oh, I don't know if he likes me. His mother might not like me. His children might not like me. His coworkers may not like me. His frat brothers may not like me. His cousin may not like me. His sister may not like me. I mean, all this angst. His dog may not like me. His parakeet may not like me. His pet snake may not like me. You just don't want nobody to like you. Where does all this negativity come from? I find that shit amazing. Yeah, the voice. You know what I'm talking about, though. They just be like all angst filled about nothing. It's like, okay, so they don't like you. You gonna die? You know, to me, it's like, okay, there's only the worst thing that can happen is that I'm gonna die. Okay, which even that may not be so bad, but nobody's ever come back to say it. So we just have that as the worst case scenario, death. Okay, everything else is bullshit. So, I mean, they don't like you. I mean, what's going to happen? Are you going to like blow, drop and blow away? Are you going to be like that wicked witch and melt? I mean, what? What do you think is going to happen? You'll survive just fine if they don't like you. You know how many people don't like me? The list is probably at least 100,000 by now, I'm sure. They probably just like, can't stand my ass. I know when I left Texas, I know they had a fucking parade. That bitch is gone. Woohoo! But I'm telling you, it's like you can't worry about whether people like you or not. I mean, what, you gonna change yourself to try to make sure everybody likes you, and that's what a lot of you do. You don't speak up. You don't make demands. You don't give your opinion. You dress and eat and talk and do everything the way that you think they want you to because you're trying to get their approval. You know? Yeah, I do. I have an international hater that I gives no fucks. I'll tell them fuck you in any language you need. I'll just type it into Google Translate and then you hit the little button that tells you how to pronounce it. And then I will go and I will say that to them. You know, 80 languages up in there. So I can say fuck you in 80 languages. I'm telling you. International fuck yous. That's all you do. Yeah, they're trying to keep up a facade. I'm like, that is too much damn work. I know. So what if kids don't like you? You know, the little motherfuckers say, I don't like you. I don't like your ass either. Now, what you gonna do about it? I can't stand you. And they just look at you because they think, that somebody gives a shit. I don't give a shit. You keep it up. I'm not gonna like your raggedy ass daddy either. So, people be tripping. These kids be doing the most. Okay, number 16. You be afraid of being different. Have you ever noticed how friends will all dress alike? They look like little mirror images of each other. Their hair is all the same. They wear the same style clothes. You like a girls in your school is like a clique, right? So then they all dress alike. Sometimes they'll even call each other and coordinate outfits. Let's all wear, our skirts with our knee socks tomorrow. And, our over the knee socks. And our boots are this and that. They all want to look alike. That's very important to a lot of women that they fit in. They want to be like everybody else. You got to get the shit that's the latest style. Everybody else is wearing their hair in ombre style, so I'm going to get my hair ombre too. Everybody's got the Dooney and Burke bag, so I got to get one too. Everybody's wearing these kind of shoes with this kind of heel. I got to get me that too. You know? What is that? Break out, be different. God, what are you? It's like you can't think for yourself. You just going around following other people. Oh my God, that is so disgusting. And then you got kids and they looking at you being like that. Like your mama don't have no mind of her own. She just got to follow what everybody else does. Oh my God. This is just stupid. That shit makes no sense. So you just be merged. You just become part of the crowd. It's just sad. I don't know. Also, a lot of women have a fear. I'll skip those. I was like, these are something I thought of, but I'm like, yeah, whatever. A fear of being successful on your own. A lot of women will refuse to do things like buy a home, buy a car, travel by themselves, do things that will put them in a position where they have power and influence. They don't want to do it because they feel like, well, then when I meet this man, what's he going to think? He's going to think that I don't need a man. Yeah, you're right. Groupthink. That is it. I'm like, oh my God, please stop doing that. That is so, you just like parrot everything everybody else does. Ugh. No. So you don't want to have good credit. You don't want to just do anything. You don't want to furnish your house. You don't want to buy a house. You don't want to do anything that's going to establish firm roots and establish yourself because you just want to spin your life like a wheel until some man jumps in, and then you're going to try to build your life around him. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? You should always have your own shit. Even if you get married, see the stuff that you had before you married, that maintains as your own property. Put your shit in a trust so that even if you get married, he can't touch it. You get married, you get a divorce, he can't touch it. You can will that to whoever you want to because that's your shit. Y'all got to become more fiscally savvy. That's like, I guess I'm going to have to do a thing about that because this, people don't be thinking about this kind of stuff. You got the money, buy yourself some property, get you some rental property. That's what you need to do. Get you some income property. You could hire a management company to do it. You don't have to do it yourself because, that could get iffy. As soon as they find out you're a woman, you're going to be coming in there all by yourself all the time. But, you can hire companies, man. They take a percentage of the rent. It's good money. It's good money spent. Okay, how about women who fear that they're being judged and condemned and called a hoe, a harlot, a slut, slut shame, that's the term everybody uses, all kind of other crazy names because you're a woman who freely enjoys your sexuality. A lot of you worried about that. Oh, it's important to you that men think of you as a good girl, as somebody who hasn't had too much mileage. They say stuff like that, but she been all run through. How do you know? Motherfuckers, women can birth babies one after another, and that shit pops right back. So what you talking about? This is when you know that people are ignorant and don't know anything about the female anatomy. So they have some kind of imaginary thing. I don't know what they be thinking really because I never talked to anyone about it because they were just too stupid, and I just was like, oh, la, la, la. I don't even want to talk to them anymore. I didn't want to interact with them. But that's what they think. And that's one of their favorite words to use. Nignogs love to say run through. And, she used up. She done hit the wall. All this kind of stuff. So, you have a lot of women who are sensitive to that. And they feel like they need to keep their coochie pristine and unused or with very minimal mileage, like 2 miles on it. Because they might meet this maybe possibly in the future at some time in the distant future. Maybe think about meeting some nignog who's going to judge what they've done with their coochie. And I'm thinking, how are you going to know? The main thing that they're going to be worried about is when they sleep with you, whether you could turn his ass out or not. And if you can't, then he's going to move on to the next one. So, the ability to do that is satisfying for you because you get up and after they laid out, You could get up and do your victory dance. You know, because the nigga sleep out cold till the next day. See, that's what I'm talking about. So you don't worry about them. You do what you want to do. Just keep your mouth closed. Stop telling everything. You tell your business. Oh yeah, I can dance. That's one thing about dancing keeps you in good shape. So you guys don't worry about that. They really will try to control. It's just another way that they want to try to control you by being judgmental and condemning because you getting more dick than they're getting pussy, and so they're jealous. That's what that is. Because player dudes, they never say stuff like that. The ones that's getting a lot, they don't worry about what you did. They happy that you know what you're doing when they get it, when they get with you. It's the ones that ain't getting none. The ones that can't fuck. The ones with the little weak, eek. Those are the ones always worried about what you done and who you done it with because they know they have insecurities about their ability to satisfy you. So the way that they try to flip it around is to say that it's something wrong with you, when in reality it's something wrong with him in that he doesn't know how to fuck. See, that's the real deal. So then let's move on. Well, see, and you're noticing all these things, right? All these fears, I'm telling you, these are all fears that women have. And some of us, you've been taught to have about being in a relationship with a man. And you've absorbed all these messages of fear and desperation and lacking and how you can't be, you can't do, you can't wear, you can't go, you can't say, whatever it is, because it's all about pleasing some knuckleheaded man that you haven't even met yet. Ah, y'all need to quit this. But I'm going to continue with my list. All right. Fear that you're not enough by yourself. This is an issue that a lot of women suffer with from their self-esteem. You feel that you're not enough. So you have to put on a false face. Like, you like what he likes, right? You have to be in the latest designer clothes. You can't get up and put on makeup first thing in the morning because you're afraid of showing your bare face because you think that you're not attractive just being yourself. You're always worried about getting approval from everyone. And you always comparing yourself to other people. And usually you come out on the low end. You're looking at what he's got going on and what he's doing, and you want to compare yourself and then put yourself in a negative light, and that's not good. So stop doing that. Just be yourself. Learn to be comfortable in your skin, and then you won't have this problem. A lot of you, the young ones, you have fear that you're not pretty or sexy enough. Okay, so here you live in fear of some guy saying that you're fat, you're too big, so you're constantly dieting. You're getting surgeries. It's like teenage girls getting breast augmentations and tummy tucks and stuff. They're 16. What are you doing? And the parents let them do it. It's amazing. They're always worrying about being enough, getting these butt augmentations and stuff, and then end up all deformed and all kinds of fucked up from this stuff that they put in their bodies, all scarred up and everything. And they took all those risks because they were trying to please men. They wanted male attention instead of just being comfortable in their own skin. It's terrible. A lot of you have a fear of not having a boyfriend. These young girls, they write at me all the time. I don't have a boyfriend. I'm like, okay, and well, all my friends have a boyfriend. I'm like, okay, and all your friends are stupid. What you want from me? They should be doing something with themselves that makes some sense, like going to college, getting their A's on. Getting a part-time job, doing something with themselves instead of spending all their time, worrying about some knuckleheaded ass boy. Them little boys ain't worth nothing. Oh my God. Yes, they are dying from botched surgery, and the ones that don't die are all physically fucked up. They, hiding the rest of their lives or trying to get more money to get the surgery to fix the surgery that they originally got that messed them up. It's terrible. Terrible. Ugh. I saw some pictures that just grossed me out. Yeah, they dusty, they crusty, they stupid. just the worst. And so, you have these young girls in your life and they worried about having a boyfriend. Tell them, okay, have them make me a list of what value a boyfriend is going to bring to your life. Let's go down the list. And you write down what benefits you get from having this little knucklehead in your life. Tell me and see what they say, see what they come up with. Because a lot of it's going to be based on fantasy and conjecture, not the reality of, these girls are facing getting their asses kicked. The boyfriends take their money, the boyfriends giving them STDs, the boyfriends are controlling, they're stressing the little girls out. All kind of stuff is happening in these teenage relationships. They end up pregnant and can't do what they're supposed to be doing. All kind of negative things. So I don't see the benefit of the young girls having a boyfriend. They need to wait till they in college. Fear that their friends look better than they do. That's another one. Some adult women have that too. Oh, she thinks she cute. And yet they call that person their friend. Have you ever run across that? I have. Fear of settling out of desperation. Refer back to number one, fear of being alone and never having anyone and never having, never being with a man, always being by themselves. That desperation is there. Even though they're afraid of being single, they're also afraid of settling. So they're like in this conundrum where they just don't really know what to do. So, if they get some slick talker come along, then they're going to be with him, and then that's just going to be that. Fear of not pleasing him. These are the women who apologize for everything. Oh my God. They always apologize. Oh, I don't like these, I don't like my eggs like this, he says at breakfast. Oh, I'm sorry. That's what you all say. I'm sorry. Would you like me to fix you some other ones? Psh, what is this, a short order restaurant? Nigga, you don't like the eggs I cooked? There's the pan. Get up and make them the way that you want to. And from now on, let's do that. Okay, you make your own eggs. Because one thing I don't like to do is I put forth my effort, and then somebody going to be complaining about the shit that I did. What you should have done was just ate the eggs and not said nothing but thank you. But since you want to bitch and moan and complain about some fucking eggs, from now on, you're going to make your own eggs. I hope you're happy. That's me. You get one time to act stupid. And I'm not apologizing. I made the eggs. You either eat them or you don't. I like them, so you're going to eat what I eat. You eat what I like. If you don't like it, then fix your own. That's how we do things at my house. Mm-mm. Another thing, yeah, do it yourself. That's right. You like it. That's the best way. Use your own effort, your own muscles, and your own arms. Let's do that. Okay. And then while you in there, fix me mine. Although I don't eat eggs anymore, but you know what I mean. Women are, that's like, oh, I like this dress. Honey, how do I look in this dress? Oh, do you like this dress? She asks him, all proud because she thinks she look cute. Well, I don't know. It's all right, I guess. You should change. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Deb. Like, well, I would have never asked him, okay, but let's just say I did slip up and make that mistake. And he said, you should change. It's like, no, I'm going to change, all right? I'm going to change men. Get the fuck out. See, you don't get to criticize me in any way. And like I said, I wouldn't have asked him anyway, because his opinion about how I dressed is irrelevant. So that's not a situation that would have happened. But like I said, if I did, that would be my response. So his response, his only response that he can say is either yes or maybe yes, and I would have liked it in a other color because it's so pretty on you, or yes, but I like something that's maybe shorter because it shows your legs more, but this will do for today. So see, you get to say stuff like that, but you don't get to say, well, with some tone. Nah, you don't get to do that. A lot of women would have ran in there and changed. They would have changed because he said he didn't like it. And I'd been like, shit, I don't like you. Get the fuck out. Now, how about that? A lot of you have a fear of being abandoned. Your fear of being abandoned is probably logical. It's probably based on something that happened in your childhood. And so you are worried about that. But But that will lead you, that panicky feeling will lead you to make some very poor choices in relationships. So, if you have that issue, go see a shrink, get that taken get that handled, because you don't want that. I found into a new one where a lot of these women around here, they have a fear of the sun. There's a lot of cultures, and like a lot of these high yellow folks down in the South, because I ran into this when I was in New Orleans the first time in the 80s. They walk around with an umbrella because they have a fear of the sun. They don't want to get too brown. Have you seen that? A lot of Asians around here do that. They don't like to be brown. I guess in their culture, being dark is a bad thing. And I ran into a lot of them Cajun Creole types when I was in New Orleans that walked around with an umbrella. I'm like, I had never seen no shit like that. The Asians, yes, but black people walking around with an umbrella? And then, people started explaining to me, oh yeah, like that's the so and so clan, and I mean, they have all these things. Their little breeding whatevers, and so they try to keep family line light skinned and all that stuff. And I was just amazed. That was some shit I had just never heard of being a Californian. I was like, what? What that about? So, they stay inside, till the sun goes down. But again, they're doing that because they want to. That's a perception that men won't like them if they're too brown. So see, they're still doing shit because it's about a man. All of these things I just read off for you are all about pleasing or getting or meeting the needs of, meeting the expectations of, getting approval of some knuckle-headed man. All of it. All of it. Let me skip down here because some of this fear of being too needy, fear of being too demanding. So the things that you need him to do, the things you need him to be, the things that you need to feel secure in a relationship, the help that you need from him. You don't want to ask him because you're afraid of two things: that he'll either say no and leave you hanging, or he'll say yes and leave you hanging, or that you're going to be seen as too demanding and needing and he's going to leave you. It's one of those three reasons why you hold back. My thing is just ask and then see what he says. I broke up with a dude that I really liked too because of something. I had a situation where it was some time ago and I had been hurt. And so I was, I ran through my savings. I had a rough time. I'm telling you, it was hard. And so finally I had got my health back and got back on my feet. But even when you start working, you don't get a paycheck right away. And I had a little bit of money saved up, but I needed that for like rent and gas for my car and commute costs and groceries and stuff. And then I got hit with this huge electricity bill because it was in the middle of winter and they was about to turn my shit off. And I was like, okay, but I can't use this other money because I need it for this until my first paycheck comes. I was juggling stuff and I had been out of work for over a year and just run through my money. It was terrible. And he this dude that I was kicking it with, I asked him for the money. I said, I need, I don't know, like $250, whatever it was. I needed it. Was way, it wasn't that much for a male that had some money. He talking about how much money he had, and he didn't give it to me. He had all kind of excuses, and he's calling talking about, oh, well, did you get that taken care of? And I never responded. He had left that voicemail. I never responded. And after that, I blocked him and, just went on with my life. And one of his friends, I saw him a couple of months after that. And he's like, oh, dude was like, what happened to you? You just dumped him. I'm like, sure did. And he, well, what happened? I said, you don't need to know. Just say your friend is fucked up. And that's why he's by himself. Yeah, I just like no. Yeah, I don't ask for people for help for much, and in a situation like that, I really needed it. It was the middle of winter. It was cold as hell, and we had like an unusually cold winter for the Bay Area, and so keeping the heat on, and the bill ran up. And I was like shocked at how high it was, to tell you the truth. It was way over what I had anticipated and budgeted for because I had all the money earmarked that was going to carry me through till I got this first paycheck. And it was just like horrible. So, but yeah, you don't get no more chances. Fuck you. A lot of women have a fear of the guy leaving them for someone better looking or younger. That's another one. He's going to leave me for a younger woman. Okay, he might do that. But there's nothing you can do to stop that, because just like you're getting older, that younger woman's going to get older too, and so is your man. His ass is getting to the crunchy stage and the ED stage, and I need got blood sugar issues stage, and there's nothing he can do about that. So he might have a year or two where he could hook up with some younger woman, but eventually she's gonna get sick of his ass and she's gonna dump him, and then that'll be the end of that. So don't worry about that kind of stuff. Don't change your life worrying about what he might do with some younger or different woman. And then I got two more. A lot of you young, especially you young career women, based on that being independent thing, you fear that you'll be forced to choose between a man and your career. So it's really hard for you to get close to men, because you feel like, okay, he's gonna want me to quit my job and be a stay-at-home mom, and I'm gonna have too much responsibility with his household and children and being a wife and all this stuff. I'm not sure I'm ready for that, and that's fine if you're not. But don't take that fear out on men. Deal with that concern on your own, and then get in a relationship. So, it's still, even though it's about a relationship, I mean, you still had a fear it's based on something about a man. It's more about an issue with yourself than it is with him. And so, just figure out what you want to do with your life. I mean, you might decide you don't want to get married. Maybe just dating somebody and he got his house and you got yours is better for you. And there's no rule that says you have to be married. So you do what works for you. If you love being a career girl, flying around the world, giving presentations and doing whatever it is you do, then do that. It's not a problem. I have no problems with that. And then my final thing on my list is that you have a fear that anytime you spend apart from that man is a threat. It's a threat to your relationship. You fly into a fucking panic. You want to text them 877 times a day. Where you at? What you doing? Who you with? When you coming home? Well, what time did you get there? Well, who's there? You guys are full of questions. You like an investigator. Don't you think that wears that man out? It just wears him out. The insecurity is just overwhelming. So, y'all be doing too much. You just are either that or you want to be up under him all the time. Everywhere he wants to go, you want to go. You want to tell him what he can't do. You can't go to the bachelor party because it's gonna be a naked woman there. It's gonna be strippers there. Okay, and I mean, are you really that insecure? You know what I mean? The dude can't go to a bachelor party. Even if you get ready to marry him, I had women that wrote me letters that they were upset that their fiance was gonna have a bachelor party with a stripper. They were losing their damn minds. I'm like, what is the problem? And they're like, he can't do that. Yes, he can. He don't need your permission. What is he, two? And then they get mad at me. I'm like, y'all need to get your acts together. I mean, these are just some of the things, like I said, that I thought about off the top of my head since yesterday, and when I did the live stream yesterday and today. And, I it just really bothers me how much you're more worried about what a man does and what he wants and what he thinks and what he'll give approval for, so that you lose yourself. You're afraid to direct yourself. You're afraid to make too many big moves on your own, all about a man that you're not even with. In a minute, he says you're single. You ain't even met this motherfucker yet, and you already limiting yourself and thinking what you can do to make him like you. Y'all have to stop doing that. Men love a woman who's confident, and anyone man who doesn't love a confident woman is a bitch made man, and you don't want him anyway. So, you guys have a lot of thinking to do, okay? And, think about the things that I said and how many of those messages you got growing up, and how you think about yourself based on those messages. How do you operate in the world? How do you interact with men? How assertive are you with men? How well do you establish and maintain boundaries with men? How well do you communicate with men about your needs, the desires and expectations and the limitations and things that you're going to put on him and give him for your life? Oh my God, this phone. You have to really think about that, you guys. You got to really think about that. And if you can't express, you're not comfortable expressing the kind of relationship that you want, how in the world do you expect him to? Now, men are not psychic. They don't have magical mind reading powers. You have to be able to tell them, well, this is what I want. Are you planning to give it to me? Shall you give it to me? Will you give it to me? When you going to give it to me? And how long you going to give it to me? And how well you going to give it to me? And that's going to dictate whether we continue this association or whether just be dumped. That's the bottom line. So you guys have a lot to think about. I'm gonna be for those who don't know, honey, I got my Twitch thing working. I put something up there today. I don't remember what. Anyway, if you go on Twitch, it's the. Oh yeah, I think I'm Debsterism over there too. You know I can't be creative. I told you I'm not creative. I just have the same shit everywhere I go. And but I have a little short video there, and I'm gonna try to do some stuff over there on Saturdays. So it's a different market. It's very young people that like to play video games, but a lot of them want relationships, and they aren't very good at it either. So I'm going to kind of expand over there as well. So if you know somebody on Twitch, that's right. Where's my Twitch? I don't know. Hold on a second. Let me pull it up while you guys are still here, and then I can put it in the chat. Let me see. Where's my channel? Channel. Okay, here it is. Let me pop this in the chat. This is where I am. So feel free to become a follower. You ain't ever heard of that, honey. See, they'll be up on some shit. I have to stay relevant. Even though I'm older than most of the people on YouTube doing what I do, they're very young. I've been doing this as long as they are old. But you still have to stay relevant. And I'm always looking to expand my platform and expose my knowledge and experience to new audiences. And with kids going to college, back to college in a couple of weeks, I'm trying to get to them where they are. And where they are is on social media sites like Twitch and what's the other one? I can't think right now. But that's what I'm doing. It is very important. And it's information, and it's what they call edutainment, because I'm giving you information, but it's entertaining at the same time. And I do that on purpose because it soaks in easier. You know, it's it's it has helps people absorb the message. I don't want to be that kind of just ram stuff down people's throat. I want to give you the information in a way where you laugh and say, "Well, damn," but you remember it, right? Because I have people come in these chats, y'all be telling me what video stuff is in and repeating quotes back of stuff I said. That just amazes me because I could barely remember what I said yesterday. So, do you think the young kids will listen or take heed? Yes, they do. They do. Not all of them, of course. Shit, half the adults don't. That's not, I mean, I don't worry about that because that's what's good about this kind of thing. They might not be ready to hear the message today, they might not be ready next week. But a month to 6 months from now, they're going to find themselves in a situation that I was trying to prevent them from getting in. And they're going to come back to this channel. They're going to press play and say, damn, I was dumb. All I had to do was listen to this. And I could have prevented myself from getting my feelings hurt like I'm sitting here crying now. This didn't have to happen. I had the information to protect myself, and I turned my back on it. That's when they listen. Because I'm a firm believer in that thing, that Buddhist thing, like when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And I'm the teacher, but they have to be ready to be the student. If they're not the student, they'll be sooner or later. I would rather it be sooner so that they avoid a lot of the hurt feelings that I know is going to be coming at them, the games that's getting ready to get run on them, how they're going to be used for different things, and mind games played on them, all kind of stuff will be happening to our girls. And I would rather they hear this information now. At least it might trigger something when they find a similar situation. The words will be like, oh wait, this is what she was talking about. Wait a minute, I wonder what she said again, I forgot. But at least they know where to find the information. Okay. Don't be disappointed. Auntie Deb is here. But when people get too crazy, I will cuss folks out. I don't have no problem with that. But I hope you guys, that this is enjoyable for you and that you learned a lot and that you can take away from this and go and figure out what it is that you need to do to get your minds right so that you're not living your life and operating based on fear. Fear is a crippler. Fear is behind racism, sexism, ageism, and all the problems that we have in this country, with immigrants and everything else. All of that shit is based on fear, and the white people in power do all they can to keep people afraid of change and people with brown skin. That's it. But that's just an example of how fear can be used as a tool of control. And that's the whole goal with men. I keep telling you, they want to control women. And they're going to do it by force, they're going to do it by coercion, and they're going to do it by giving you messages that make you afraid to not give them what they want. And that's what this whole conversation was for the last 2 days. Okay? I may have one more. We'll see. But this is Deb Cooper from survivingdating.com, closing out on women's fears and men's control of women using that fear. I hope that this was very educational for you. I'll be back on the weekend. Like I said, on Saturday, we're going to be on Twitch. This is my new, that's the channel thing right there in the link in the chat. I put the link in the chat. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh my God. Thank you to the young lady who donated the what they call it, the chat dollars, whatever they call it, I forgot. But I appreciate everyone coming in, all my Patreon subscribers who help pay for this computer stuff, and you guys who click the ad links here. All of that was used, money was used to upgrade all this equipment, by the lights that I'm trying to still set up. I couldn't have done it without you. So, you guys are as invested in this channel's growth and progress as I am. And you get to see where I'm taking things, and how I'm trying to expand the platform. And the next thing is I'm gonna get a video camera that I can take out, out into the community and do some things at different locations where there are gatherings of singles, and then make a video and come back and talk shit to you guys about that. Yeah, just Twitch. Facebook. I'm not really feeling Facebook, but I may occasionally do that, and then here, and we'll see what else. If you have suggestions for other platforms, send it to me in an email, survivingdating@gmail.com, and I will see you young people later. All right. I don't know how do you end this thing. I think I gotta go over here. Okay, done deal.